Hey, welcome to another Reacts right here on the channel. I'm going to watch Lords of the Fallen extended gameplay presentation. YouTube, say hi to Twitch, and Twitch, say hi to YouTube. Kiss each other. Hold each other's hands. All right, let's play it. Here we go.
Welcome to Mornstead.
Welcome.
A prominent region within the vast and sprawling world of Lords of the Fallen. In today's extended gameplay walkthrough, we're sharing an exclusive look at just some of the diverse and harrowing areas you'll journey through in your epic quest to overthrow a deer, the demon god.
Oh, I straight up just thought I was overthrowing a deer. Somehow, a random deer just took power, and nobody really knows how. They're just like, look, they're just in power now, all right? That deer is just powerful. It's just a normal deer, actually. I don't know why we haven't fought back.
Your epic quest to overthrow a deer, the demon god.
Skyrest Bridge. We're over here in Skyrest Bridge.
This is Sky.
Can I watch in 4K and it get okay? Yeah, that's crisper. It's gonna be
Bridge.
probably real bad for my internet, but we'll see.
Pieta, she of the Blessed Renewal, one of the game's early boss encounters.
Pinche Pieta.
We must triumph against her in order to proceed with our holy charge to restore radiance to the 6 beacons of the Sentinels and thwart a deer's uprising.
These beacons are all about sex. These sex beacons.
O holy Aureus, by your radiance grant me the strength to continue.
What is this game? It's called Lords of the Fallen.
Dark days, to lay bare the
Lord of the Fallen came out like 10 years ago. No, wait. The Lords of the Fallen came out like 10 years ago. This is just Justin Timberlake said, drop the. Just Lords of the Fallen. It's catchier. Snappier. Or whatever. I forgot the actual words in Social Network.
path to salvation. And yet
I just got here. Why are you talking about sex beacons? Because that's he's got a little bit of some little European accent. And deer, look, Melissa,
a deer.
He says we have to overthrow a deer.
You'll journey through in your epic quest to overthrow a deer, the demon god.
See, we have to take over a deer. And then he talked about sex beacons.
to continue to endure.
A deer's up with our holy charge to restore radiance to the 6 beacons of the Sentinels and thwart a deer's uprising.
O holy Aureus, by your radiance grant me the strength to continue to endure these dark days, to lay bare the path to salvation. And yet you now appear before me, a stranger, a betrayal made flesh.
Oh, I got a lightsaber.
One I cannot brook.
Whoa! Oh, she's huge.
Melee,
Big
magic,
mommy.
and ranged abilities are seamlessly interwoven. Alongside standard attacks, you can choose between catalysts, bows, crossbows, or throwables,
Whoa.
mapping up to 4 additional magic or range skills to your controller for immediate access. This rapidly speeds up combat and reduces the need to swap between options.
Oh, big parry! Get parried, lady!
As with many of the imposing bosses you'll encounter, Pieta has 2 very distinct stages.
Pinche Pieta.
Death is not necessarily the end in Lords of the Fallen. When slain in Axiom,
This is the coolest concept the whole game has. This dual world style, like the Medium video game. Like Titanfall's time travel level.
Death is not necessarily the end in Lords of the Fallen. When slain in Axiom, the realm of the living, you'll resurrect in Umbral, the realm of the dead.
Cool as
So you
hell.
now have one final chance to survive.
Oh, get parried, lady. Oh, chat, really good. Lighting on her wings as the light kind of goes through the wings. Looks awesome. The feathers and everything, the kind of like nearly see-through feathers. Not see-through, but you know what I mean. The sun's shining right through them. Ooh, frame rate. Some frame rate issues.
Though few and far between, these flowers denote special patches of ground upon which we can spawn a resting point, known as a vestige seedling. These come at a significant resource cost, however, and we can only spawn one at a time. The realms of Axiom and Umbral.
I'm gonna spawn
exist
so
in
many
parallel.
seedlings.
Each world features its own.
I'm gonna shoot my seedlings all over the place.
Characters, and of course,
In the land of the living and the
treasures.
dead.
We can now use this crafted vestige to return to Axiom.
Cool. So I wonder what the reasoning is to go back to the land of the dead. So many seedlings for Session Wash. Digital Foundry did a video in there like, if you look down here, there are so many seedlings per session that you could shake more seedlings you could shake a stick at, you know? There's only a finite amount of seedlings, so use them wisely. Andy, I'm gonna use the fuck out of them seedlings. Oh, fall damage. Just like that? I can't wait to parry all these idiots, dude. Chat, we got new neighbors moving downstairs. I'm not happy about it, to be honest with you. Haven't had neighbors downstairs in a while. It was a nice life.
We can peer into the secondary realm at any time.
Look at
by
that!
raising the umbral lamp.
That's
Though
cool.
be advised, this also renders you vulnerable to its inhabitants. We will now use the lamp to cross over to Umbral, though doing so will consume one of our 2 lives, and it isn't so easy to return to the world of the living.
Holy shit, it's just a big face. Oh my god, that guy's all face.
Many enemies require a different approach to
Scared the
combat.
shit out of me.
This mendacious visage, for example, is only vulnerable when attacked from the back, or when it reveals its true form.
Show me your real face, not the face you wear, but the face that you are. Oh, wow. That was cool. Little coom just coming out of there. All those people are in the land of the dead. It's kind of like that movie where Cuba Gooding Jr. and Robin Williams, they go to the afterlife and it's all painted and everything. I wonder if they're in this game.
You'll also come across permanent vestiges on your travels.
What
As
dreams
well as
may
using
come.
these to return to Axiom, you can also level up your stats at these locations.
Oh shit, this guy got a really cool hat. I'm gonna see this dude's phantom running around. I'm gonna spawn out of like a little bonfire, see this dude with the cool hat, be like, oh, where'd you get that cool hat? God damn it, dude, that's a cool hat.
3 schools of sorcery can be mastered.
Dude, this visual is cool as hell. Like this sort of like, what's it called when your flashlight has a penumbra? What's the word I'm looking for? You know what I mean? Umbral. It's just gotta Got an umbral, like the circle of the flashlight, like the, you know what I mean? Like when you
3 schools of
you see that, like the way the circle, umbra shadow stuff. Yeah, no.
sorcery can be mastered. Rogar, Radiant, and Umbral. Each specialized.
He just said umbral. Motherfucker just said umbral like I was. That's what I was thinking. It's crazy. Is this guy watching live?
Each specializing in a different area of the arcane.
Oh, he's been
and
saying Umbral?
requiring
Oh,
a
shit, never mind.
different catalyst to cast.
Fuck, man.
Our current build is adept in Rogar.
I'm gonna look, chat. I'm gonna look up
devastating
flashlight
pyromantic
terminology.
attacks.
I'm gonna fucking show you. I'll show you. Flashlight terminology.com. I'm not seeing it. Sorry, I gotta rewatch the fight chat. I was looking up flashlight terminology.
Is adept in Rogar, characterized by devastating pyromantic attacks.
That's so pyromantic. He's so sweet. Oh, man, this looks sick as hell. This looks cool as hell right now. Although bitrate, a little bit left to be desired, all right? Like, come on, my videos look better than this. Like, for real, chat. Like, my VODs look better than this. What's going on?
An age-old borough built into the very cliff face, Pilgrim's Perch,
Pilgrim's
typifies the
Perch.
verticality of Moonstead.
I'm still looking for the
There
flashlight.
are myriad
term.
pathways stretching both above and below, with hidden areas, treasures, and NPCs all awaiting discovery.
I'm using Bing right now, by the way. This game looks like, despite the video's quality, right? This game looks next gen, in quotes, you know? This looks like what Demon Souls looked like when it came out on PS5. In terms of just how good the lighting is, you know? Ew. Oh, that sounds so wet.
As a lamp bearer, all players are equipped with a devastating ability, the Soul Flay. By using one of a limited number of soul
Fuck your
charges,
soul, dude.
we are able to extract the very soul of an enemy, ready to inflict significant damage.
I get my soul taken out of me and my body's just back there like, come on, man, it's not, what the fuck? It's not fair, dude. Oh. Flood and Mule are not it, no. The game is called Lords of the Fallen. No, not those either, M40, but I appreciate it. It may be a game dev term, honestly. It may not even be a... Whoa! It may not even be a flashlight. Wait, isn't that an older game? Yeah. Yeah, it came out like 10 years ago, and this is the like the soft reboot, I guess. They basically tried making a Souls game back in the day and kind of failed. Like, no one really loved it, and this is like them being like, all right, now we're really gonna try. Look at that. That's a cool mechanic, man. That's a cool mechanic, dude. That's a hot dog. It is, Dill. Yeah, they did drop the. Yeah. Or the old one didn't have a the, and I think the was gonna be the only difference, and then they dropped it too. I forgot what happened, dude. But this is a cool ass mechanic. I really love this idea. Awesome. Awesome.
The Soul Flay ability can also be used to manipulate the very environment when in Umbral.
Oh. I'm gonna look up the word penumbra. It's penumbra. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's penumbra. Maybe not. I don't know. I'll agree with what a few people have said in the chat so far. I think the sound design kind of weak. In terms of like the sounds of the impacts, the sound effects, they sound very secondary.
We now find ourselves
It sounds like somebody is watching this gameplay and then did Foley over it. You know, like it doesn't feel like it's part of the game. It feels like it's in the land of the dead. You know what I mean? It's in Umbra or Umbral.
Calrath, an ever-burning district renowned for its displays of barbarity.
Freaking Bloodborne right here, dude. And it may not be the design. Maybe it's just the mix. It could just be the actual sound mixing that just sounds off. Dude, that's cool, man. That's cool stuff right there. Everything else is really cool, though. Like, I love this.
We're now going to invite a second player to join us on our journey.
Oh, little co-op god.
This is easily achieved.
Here
at
comes
any of the
Steez the
vestiges.
source, useless.
You
Just
can
gonna take
choose to fight
screenshots
alongside
of
a
me.
friend or a randomly selected player. Either way, your co-op companion will remain at your side for as long as you or they choose.
Hey, Slappy, I'm here, Slappy.
As a radiant sorcerer,
I haven't
our
leveled
ally
up at all,
is able to
Slappy.
buff either character with various
I'm
enhancements.
level 2, but I have a wooden weapon, so the blacksmith can't level it up. I'm just stuck with it. Nothing I can do, Slappy. Hey, thanks, rescue pit. I don't know how. Rescue pit. Thank you. Is that Mike or Donald Trump? Hey, good to see you, Slappy. Good to see you, man. Good to see you, homie. Rescue pits. Okay, gotcha. It doesn't follow the TikTok build, okay? I saw a build on TikTok from the original game, and that's the one that I'm following, okay? TikTok Timmy put up a build. Lords of the Fallen Fred. Oh. Whoa, that's cool. That's cool. You and your impersonation of Mike triggers me. Dude, that was cool, bro. Joshua. Watch, I was thinking the same thing. I read that and I was thinking the same thing. That's so cool. I like that. That's a neat little effect. Oh shit! Oh man! Fred got rocked from behind, dude. Right there, Mike would have blamed me for not warning him. Why don't you tell me about the guy behind me, Slappy? Sitting back there. What are you picking your nose? What are you doing? Ew.
It appears our way is blocked by an umbral entity. We will need to track its tendrils in order to locate and expel the source of its power.
Cool. Let's go to the land of the dead. Ew. Oh. This game is very devilish, though. This game is very devilish looking. I am Kettner. Thank you for 31 months of support. Is approaching my age.
Face off against the colossal Spurred.
Oh, he's playing with toys.
Scourge of Calrath.
He's playing with little toys. Ew, dude, he's playing with corpses as toys. That's so fucked up. Ugh. Oh. Enough with the hands. How many hands? How many hands are we talking about here? How many can we have, honestly? You have an overabundance of hands. Oh. Holy shit, that's messed up looking. Oh my god. Really nice hair, yes. Kind eyes. Oh. Oh. Oh, Jesus. No, a little heal for me and my friends.
The lands
I haven't seen the HUD yet, no.
Await you. Pre-order Lords of the Fallen now and prepare to unleash the darkness on Friday, the 13th of October.
Cool. Game looks pretty cool. Game looks pretty cool. I hope it can live up to all of the hype, because they've been showing it around for quite some time. They've been showing off a lot of trailers. The enemy design always looks really cool. The game looks gorgeous. Like this video, the video quality here has not really done the game any justice, because any other footage I've seen of it, the game looks amazing. I'm just gonna look for like just Lords of the Fallen so we can get like a higher bitrate version. No, I think it's all pretty low and gross looking. Yeah, no, a lot of these are just kind of old and gross. Either way, looks pretty cool. Looks pretty rad. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below. And let's move on to the next little trailer, which is Armored Core 6, the extended gameplay trailer. And this is Vati Vidya's, I believe, gameplay trailer. And Vati's impressions of it. So let's see what the heck Vati thinks. In Armored Core 6, there are several different builds that you can create. And today we're going to be taking a look at them and finding out which Armored Core would be the one that I'd prefer to use when the game comes out. Have you met Vati yet? No, I haven't. I don't know if I ever will. He's rarely in America. I think he's rarely over here in the States.
So, I've played Armored Core 6, and long story short, the game is just good.
It's just good.
Great. An independent merge. He's the wise guy who decided the Red Nation was taking care of some
I'm getting goosebumps just from that. Wow. Wow.
independent mercenary. Why be a mere pawn? What honor is there in serving
Vati's Australian, I believe.
I've never felt so privileged to show off a game before. I know I'm biased since I have this channel and everything, but the game is just so special. It marks the point where an old franchise is coming back to life. It represents a genre that so many new people will get to try for the first time, and yet it's still undeniably a From Software game, with so many familiar hallmarks of their modern game design. But if you are a newcomer to the series, you might be thinking that this combat and UI is overwhelming. And you're right, it is. But trust me when I say that it's worth taking the time to understand it all.
I just want
So
a
let's
rope.
start at the beginning.
Man, I'm gonna spend so long. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take a flight to Japan. I'm gonna go visit From Software. I'm gonna take out a checkbook. I don't know the last time I owned a checkbook, but I'm gonna get a checkbook. Maybe one of the big giant checks to be more grandiose about it. A big one, like the big cool ones that you win when you get like Publisher Clearinghouse or whatever. I'm gonna have a big check and I'm gonna go, how much money do you want to allow me to customize it, customize my AC, Cortez Armored Core? Let me just, I don't want to wait to unlock things. Here is $75. It's the best offer. It's the most I could do right now.
With the very first mission of Armored Core.
I'm gonna do so much like color customization and I can't wait.
The game starts with you being sent to infiltrate the planet Rubicon 3. But it doesn't exactly go according to plan.
Of course not. Minimum $1, max 75.
Clearly, the Rubiconians
I hope you lean
don't
towards
want
the lower
anyone
end.
entering their airspace. And it wouldn't be a FromSoft game if you didn't start the game half dead already.
Hey, we Rubiconians don't like when you try to come to our planet from space, all right? We Rubiconians, we're a proud people over here in Rubicon. Rubicon. You think this is Rubicon 2? No, we're Rubicon 3.
135. Off target, but within permissible range.
The man speaking here is your handler, Walter, and you are his hound, trained to follow his every command.
Dude, look how badass.
621.
Look how badass this fucking robot looks. This looks so cool. God.
With this, we're shot closer to where we were supposed to be.
If we get our hands on Rubicon's coral, we'll make a killing. Plenty for a merc with a fried brain like you to buy their life back. Enough chat, back to work. Scavenge the AC Rex ahead and find a valid mercenary license. We're illegals here. You'll need ID to operate.
This is the
So
mech
cool.
you start the game with. It has an assault rifle, a laser blade, and multi-lock missiles.
An AC! Where the hell did that come from? Affiliation unknown. Shut it down.
Guerrillas from the Liberation Front. They'll get in the way of our work. Eliminate them.
Ooh, finisher.
In this next section, I'll try to break down how the game plays.
I'm picking up signals from AC Rex. Follow the markers.
What I'm doing now is called an assault boost. It's the most efficient way to cover great distances. It's also really, really good in combat. You can even dodge during it like this. If you come to a stop
Thank you,
while
Mati.
grounded, you will walk like this, but gliding with your boosters is generally better. And this is your quick boost, your dodge, and then there's one button to jump and ascend. All of this requires energy, which recovers really rapidly while you're grounded.
God damn, dude. I mean, just like I just want to. Men only want one thing, and it's to be inside of a giant mech and be assault boosting from left to right and dodging attacks.
Like this, but gliding with your boosters is generally better. And this is your quick boost.
I just
your
want to
dodge,
do this
and
in real
then there's
life. Let
one
me do
button
this.
to jump and ascend.
Freeze me.
All of
Freeze.
this
Put me in
requires
a
energy, which recovers
cryogenic chamber
really
right now.
rapidly while you're grounded.
This is such a boy game.
Find out who they're working for.
Looks like they've got shields. Good thing you've got a blade.
This marks the first AC wreck that we've found.
Extract the pilot data. I'll analyze it from my end.
Dude's dead.
This one's already expired.
This one's already expired. Keep looking. Put me in the game. I could be Walter. Let me be Handler Walter.
Looking.
Kill that chub.
There are multiple paths through this huge city, and it's swarming with enemies.
What?
We've got something.
Behind D. Colonel, what's a Russian gunship doing here?
Guard!
Get out of here! You can handle them!
That's the PCA's planetside force. Keep a low profile. We don't want them
Oh,
breathing
okay.
down our necks.
I wanted to verify that there were multiple propellers on it. I was about to say, that's got to be one powerful singular set of propellers. But it's
So,
got multiple sets.
There are multiple paths through this huge city, and it's swarming with enemies.
What?
We've got something, guard!
Get out of here! You can handle them!
That's the PCA's planetside force. Keep a low profile. We don't want them breathing down our necks.
Thanks to the dialogue in this game, missions are really engaging.
Glad you
Either
proved the
Walter's
engineering.
telling you something, or you're eavesdropping on enemies, or your foes are freaking out because they have to fight you. It's fun.
Corp license. Easily
It's fun.
traced. Forget it.
Let's talk missiles. By default,
Let's talk
all
missiles,
go
Vati.
to
I'm
a
ready, brother.
single target like this. But if you hold down the fire button, you can launch at multiple enemies instead. You're going to be outnumbered a lot in Armored Core, so staying mobile and constantly firing off missiles is just a good way to play.
That looked so cool, dude. Like, my favorite thing ever. Being 11 years old, watching Gundam Wing, and just watching Hiro Yui fly out there in his Gundam, and just seeing missiles going like, you know, like that was always the coolest thing ever.
Outnumbered a lot in Armored Core.
That
so
visual
staying
of just
mobile
like
and constantly firing off missiles is just
a
a good
shitload
way
of
to
missiles
play.
flying out, like the cluster missiles. Yeah, exactly. What's up, Andrew? It was the best, dude.
I overcome multiple enemies here by firing missiles and by making use of line of sight to avoid enemies while I reload.
Dude, I bought them this Waltz on DVD. I felt so badass. I bought that shit at like Sam Goody or something.
Light shoulder ammunition at 50%.
Woohoo! Fuck, man! Oh my god, dude.
Light shoulder ammunition at 50%.
Come on, bro. That's cool, man.
See about this license. It's still valid, but the pilot's rank is no good. We can't use this.
There's one last AC wreck to find, and this is the pilot whose legacy you pillage to obtain your new name.
That's it. Try accessing the wreck.
Perhaps unsurprisingly, it's time to prepare for a boss fight. So, as you can see, I've toggled on my target assist, shown here. This is an automatic hard lock mode that's great for focusing on a single enemy.
Rank fits the bill. Call someone. What? Looks like they were onto you after all.
It's your typical early FromSoft boss, an enemy that you probably won't be able to defeat.
God, I love From Software so much, y'all. Like, I just love them.
It's your typical early FromSoft boss, an enemy that you probably won't be able to defeat unless you're comfortable with the fundamentals of the game.
You've got them now. Make it count 621.
You need to always keep moving to avoid enemy fire. Get hit too many times and your stability will break. Watch and listen for warning signs. Try to stay close and use your blade. Use the environment to block enemy attacks. And while all of this is going on, you need to make sure that you're using all 4 of your weapons efficiently.
Sounds
so that
easy
you
as
can
hell.
break through enemy defenses and deal massive damage.
Jericho, thanks for using your Prime on me, Jericho. Sir Topham Cat 3 months as well. Can't wait for AC6. Used to love these games as a kid, and I'm a huge Dark Souls fan. Hell yeah, Sir Topham Cat. Thank you so much
Registration
for your 3 months.
RB23. Call sign Raven. Authentication complete.
I just want to be called Raven.
Removing MIA status. Restoring access privileges. This is All Might, the mercenary support system. Welcome back, Raven.
If you've played previous AC games, you know how good it feels to hear that. After you've listened to all of your new messages, you'll enter this, the garage. Here, you can customize your AC, you can sell its old parts, you can buy new parts, and inevitably you'll realize that the new parts are too heavy for your legs, so you buy new legs, and on it goes. You can get lost in a sea of complex cost-benefit analysis here, or you can kind of just buy the biggest gun you can carry and remember that red numbers bad, but blue numbers good. And get by that way instead. Whatever your approach, it's surprisingly fun once you get a feel for what every part does.
Sublime.
But that's not all you can do in the garage. You can also practice in the training simulator. You can earn upgrades in the arena, and you can replay old missions. And then, when you're ready, you can sortie onto your next mission. Except I can't show you the next mission.
That's
I
okay.
actually can't show you the next 4.
That's okay,
missions.
Vati. I know you got that behind the scenes look. It's all good, brother. Don't worry about it. Thank you to Nick Stannard for using your Prime on me for 5 months. Appreciate you, Nick Stannard. Almost half a year for you. I am Kettner, 31 months. Once again, Style Jim gifted out a sub to from Soft Serve. Barba 1990. Almost a full year of subscription. Tyler from Cincy, 22 months. Thank you for your tier 1, Tyler from Cincy.
I can only show you 20 minutes of footage from missions 1, 6, 7, 8, and 11.
I'm ready, brother.
Please forgive me for all of the screenshots that I've been showing you to save time here. Anyway, over the course of the next 4 missions that I can't show you, I worked my way towards constructing an AC design that I call Black Flint. This build had gotten me through previous Armored Core games, so I figured that
I remember that. I watched his. He has another video out. If y'all are interested, Vati has like an 1.5 hour long video chronicling his experiences with every Armored Core game. He played every one of them and showed gameplay footage, talked about his experiences and what he liked and what he didn't like. It was a really good video. And it was great for me because as somebody who only played several of the Armored Cores on like PS1 and PS2, it was awesome to kind of like, it felt so weird because those games are so deep down in my memory banks that I like didn't remember anything about them. And it was cool to just have like a gigantic wave of memories crashing back. It was awesome.
Game as well. I love this build. It basically uses 2 sets of small missiles to break open enemy defenses, which often enables me to land direct hits with the bazooka and assault rifle. This build was more than enough to take me past the final boss that we were allowed to fight in Mission 11. The end, but not really, because simply beating missions isn't really the end game in Armored Core. The real test of your skill is replaying those missions and attempting to achieve a perfect S rank.
Well, like, you know, Andrew, I just rented a bunch of them. Like, I never bought an Armored Core. I rarely, like, bought a whole lot of games as a kid because I just didn't, I don't know. If I'd buy a game, it'd be, like, maybe once during my birthday, you know? Or if I was fortunate enough to get a gift for, you know, Christmas or my birthday or something like that. Ghost Hand, thanks for your 7 months of tier 1 love, Ghost Hand. Appreciate the support. Thank you very, very much. Will you is proud member of the Nitro Raven Association.
I felt like
Thank you for your 40 months.
I might unlock something cool if I S-ranked a few missions.
And Maverick
so
Zero,
I gave it a
18
shot.
months.
To better my chances of this, I decided to quickly create a set of 4 diverse builds that I thought might be better suited to each mission.
He painted this one, right? Yeah. Is that Samus? Shut up, Creed. Is that Samus? Did he make Samus in this game? I'm down to replay Missions Infinite Soup only because I know that you replay missions not only so you can like S rank, but maybe to get that one, you'll get more money if you get a higher ranking, meaning that you'll have more money to afford that one big gun piece. Like, I'd much rather do that than go when I think of like grinding in your regular games, like killing a bunch of small enemies for a long time, you know?
I felt like there was a chance that I might unlock something cool if I S-ranked a few missions, so I gave it a shot. To better my chances of this, I decided to quickly create a set of 4 diverse builds that I thought might be better suited to each mission.
I love the, you can tell, like, kind of reminds me of making BB-8, you know, customizing BB-8, not BB-8, BD-1 in Jedi Survivor, and making, like, the paint weathered and chipped and dirty and roughed up, or
create a set of
you
4
can make the
diverse
paint
builds
look a little bit nicer
I thought
and more
might be
fresh, you
better
know?
suited to each
Really
mission.
cool looking.
So I made a tank build for Mission 6, a flying quadruped for Mission 7.
Oh, by the way, chat, Jedi Survivor runs like a dream and it only took like an almost $4,000 computer.
A lightweight
Very excited
melee
about it.
build for
Can't wait to
Mission
play
8,
through it.
and a heavy energy weapon biped for Mission 11. Let me take you through each mission with these builds, starting with Mission 6. In true Armored Core fashion, each mission starts with a briefing.
Got a job for you, 621.
You're joining an operation planned by Balam HQ. Check the briefing.
Operation planned by
Put me in the
Balam
fucking
HQ.
game, Chad. Come on!
Heard the good news from Walter, did ya? Good. Sit your ass down and listen.
I can't show all of this, but
It's okay.
Basically, Balam is one of the big corporations
Balam.
that wants to break through the locals' defenses here on Rubicon. And for this task, they've enlisted 2 of their own ACs, as well as you, an independent
Cool.
mercenary.
Main system activating combat mode.
Balam Group AC Squad Red Guns reporting for duty. Commence mission. Attack! Get in there, you maggots!
Great. An independent merge.
Great.
The wise guy who decided the red gun should be taking care of
Who's the
some
wise guy who decided the red gun should be taking care of some freelancers? Get me in the freaking game, Chad.
One target destroyed.
Hey, freelancer, but no one even told you why we're here.
This tank is just flying, bro.
Red guns are gonna go climb the wall. This is just target practice. When we're done, the locals' little base is next.
Good find. Can't take yourself away from chatting with a tag-along? Why don't you start a sewing club together and stitch that damn mouth of yours shut?
This mission
I
does
don't
a
like
great
that
job
voice
of
act.
characterizing Balam's Red Gun group. Your teammate, Gun 5 Iguasu, talks down to you constantly. You can tell he really hates that you're just freelancing for the highest bidder, whereas he's actually proud to be one of Balam's own Red Guns.
Do you hear me, you corporate vultures? The Rubiconians will never yield. You're going home in armored coffins.
As I fight this enemy AC, I need to talk about these tread legs that I'm equipped with. So they really change how the game feels to play. It feels more like driving around in a vehicle with these, and there's an incredible sense of momentum and weight to everything, which then comes in handy whenever
You'll never fucking catch me in an armored core that looks like a fucking Ford Explorer, Chad. I'll be dead if you caught me in an armored core that looks like I'm going fucking mudding. You know? Stupid.
you decide to overboost charge into enemies like this.
Looks stupid,
What's
dude.
more, tank and quad legs absorb recoil from your weapons, meaning you can stay mobile while firing heavy weaponry.
Right-hand ammunition.
Scavengers.
Then I destroyed the dam, I completed the mission, and even though I thought I played perfectly, I only received an A rank. So I attempted to S rank this mission one more time with this, a reverse jointed dual machine gunner. I danced circles around my
Yeah,
enemies,
bro.
and I ignored the AC fight at the end and simply focused on blowing up the dam as fast as possible.
Yeah,
Instead,
homie. Yeah, brother.
with this, I finally received my S rank.
Yeah, you did. Cause you fucking got out of your Jeep Rubicon 3, dude. Fires of the Jeep Rubicon.
You got lucky, Merc. You were the only warm body they could find. The red guns are going to be first over the wall. Have fun watching from the sidelines.
So, Mission 6 was handed to you by Balam Industries, but in Mission 7, another corporation called Arquebus has tasked you with taking on the Strider, a mobile resource base that has been extensively weaponized by the Rubicon Liberation
Dude, I
Front.
love how
To
Metal
destroy
Gear
this thing,
this
you need
is.
to take out the Eye, a giant laser cannon shielded by 4 main generators. These are your first 4 targets. That is, if you can get close enough without the Eye incinerating you.
Picking up a surge of energy to the eye. Watch out.
Oh my god. This is the one that Blessing was showing us some
The
glimpses
sheer
of.
scale of this enemy is absolutely staggering. Previous games have had arms forts like this before, but they've never looked this good.
Alright, now you're up close and personal.
I like the little bug legs. Whoa! Holy shit, this looks crazy.
All hands, prepare for close-range combat.
I like the little legs.
As you climb, you can hear the Strider personnel progressively get more and more panicked. They literally try to detach parts of the Strider to try and get rid of you.
Oh shit.
But it's no use.
Okay, take the enemy AC! Remember, we fight for the core. Defend the sub-generator.
In my S-rank attempt for this mission, I made this energy weapon quadruped build. The unique thing about quadrupeds in this game is that if you tap the jump button while you're airborne, you can hover in place indefinitely.
I like the little
It probably goes without saying that, yeah, this was extremely
I'm just gonna be a
useful
freaking
in
little
this
armored
mission.
core right there, just
For
flying
some
around.
perspective, here's what I looked like on my first attempt.
Oh, that's gonna be me. I'm gonna get so frustrated. I'm gonna be playing like.
This goes on for a while,
Get out there.
but even then, I still managed to destroy all 4 generators, and I managed to destroy the eye.
It looks like all that energy in the signal has nowhere to go. Well, 621, you need to get clear of the Strider. See that, 621? The Strider's blowing itself up. A fitting end for something built to fail.
Handler Walter better be like our like freaking Metal Gear friend that eventually turns on us. I can't wait, Chad.
With the Strider down.
No,
archivists
there's no
are
co-op. There's competitive though.
impressed with you, to say the least. This gets a foot in the door for your handler to ask for a spot on Operation Wall Climber.
Take out the
Colonel
Gatling cannons
Galukovich.
protecting the city, and the Baus tetrapod MT further in.
Operation Wall Climber is epic in scale, not because you're taking out a large enemy or anything, but because it's a long mission.
You'll never climb the wall, Corporation God!
First, you have to find a way
It's
to
me,
get behind
dear
2 Gatling
brother.
cannons defending the city. Then you have to break through the city itself, all while avoiding
Liquid.
fire from the 16 or so snipers that are positioned on the wall.
We're under attack. They're in the city.
Just 1 AC.
Ah!
They're locking.
Don't let the
If you
snipers
remember,
lock on,
in Mission
Raven.
6, the red
Put me
guns
in the
were bragging
freaking game,
that they'd
Chad.
be
It's
the first
unbelievable.
over the wall. But if you take the time to explore the city here, you'll find the wreck of Gun 4 Volta, your red gun teammate, dead in the streets. I'm not sure what killed him, but the first real challenge for you is defeating
That's cool. That's the special FromSoft sauce. That's the From Sauceware that I like. There's a chance you missed that.
16 or so snipers that are positioned on the wall.
We're under attack. They're in the city.
Just 1 AC. They're locking.
If you remember, in Mission 6, the red guns were bragging that they'd be the first over the wall. But if you take the time to explore the city here, you'll find the wreck of Gun 4 Volta, your red gun teammate, dead in the streets.
That's
I'm
cool,
not sure
man.
what killed him, but the first real challenge for you
That's
is
cool.
defeating the tetrapod MT,
I like that.
who is tucked underneath
That's pretty
the
badass.
wall's main gate.
He was a guy who was like, the red guns will be the first over the wall. Don't you forget it, freelancer. See, I could
These
play
things
the
are
game.
just so much fun to
Quit
fight.
holding me back.
My build here actually
Come on,
excels
Cameron.
at one-on-one combat. It has dual handguns and missiles to break the enemy's guard, and the pile driver, which you have to pull out of the weapon bay.
Holy
just
shit, he just did a freaking like a diving kick. That looked awesome.
These things are just so much fun to fight. and
Dude, it just looks like, dude, you are a mech with two I don't know if you noticed this, chat, but this little like handgun, that's the same size handgun that The Rock uses in Fast and Furious. Like, this is like to scale.
Tucked underneath the wall's main gate.
Look at that. You're just freaking... That's so cool
These things
looking.
are just so much fun to fight, and my build here actually excels at one-on-one combat. It has dual handguns and missiles to break the enemy's guard, and the pile driver, which you have to pull out of the weapon bay at just the right moment.
That's cool. That's pretty awesome.
And then, after making your way all the way up and through the wall, it's time to face the final boss.
One of the infamous handler Walter's hounds.
That was from the trailer.
You ready to climb the wall? That's the Juggernaut, a heavy mobile cannon. I wouldn't recommend taking it head on. It won't be able to keep up with Steel Haze. I'll distract it while you hit its blind spot.
This boss is easy enough in the first phase.
His teammate's name is Steel Haze. That's cool, bro. That's pretty cool.
That's the Juggernaut, a heavy mobile cannon. I wouldn't recommend taking it head on. It won't be able to keep up with Steel Haze. I'll distract it while you hit its blind spot.
This boss is easy enough in the first phase when you have a co-op partner, but it's extremely difficult in the second phase when your partner leaves.
Understood. Raven, I just got an update from Snail in command. We've got enemy reinforcements incoming. If I don't intercept them, we're both toast. I hate to leave you like this, but you'll have to finish without me.
Without V4 Rusty on my side, I failed my S-rank attempt against this mission. But when you fail a mission in Armored Core 6, you don't always have to start from
Skill
the beginning.
issue, Vati.
Usually you'll have unlocked a checkpoint and can just reattempt the part where you died with replenished health,
Love that.
healing, and ammunition. What's more, you're actually able to switch up your assembly mid-mission as well. So when I failed in my first playthrough on this boss, I simply switched to double bazookas and kept the Juggernaut staggered almost indefinitely.
Dude, those cluster missiles on the shoulder, like two cluster missiles going like, oh man, it's so badass, dude.
Failed in my first playthrough on this boss, I simply switched to double bazookas and kept the Juggernaut staggered almost indefinitely.
So cool.
So, yeah, checkpoints are a very powerful tool. And honestly, I think the game's difficulty is designed around you needing to make use of checkpoints. Checkpoints are what give From Software the design space to create long missions and difficult encounters within those missions. But naturally, if you die and use a checkpoint, then you're not going to get an S rank for the mission. So, when I failed my S rank attempt, I simply switched to double bazookas again and overcame the
When I failed my S rank mission, I simply picked up the PC we were demoing on and I threw it out the window. From Software was not very happy about that.
way. Instead,
But we'll talk about that later.
might as well finish the mission and claim those extra credits, right? The last mission I can show is mission 11, and it's another long one.
It concerns a certain facility, a watch point. Once, it regulated the underground flow of coral. Now it serves to monitor the dormant veins.
Ew.
The first part of the mission involves fighting your way through 2 fields of enemies who have long-ranged weaponry.
It's just one AC. Who are they with? We can look into that later. Engage it.
Later, there's a one-on-one fight against an enemy AC named Sula, who clearly has a history with your handler.
Attacking a watch point. You're incorrigible, Handler Walter. How
Yo.
many of your dogs must I kill before you learn?
Yes, dude. This is so anime and cool as fuck.
Point. You're
Later, there's a one-on-one fight against an enemy AC named Sula, who clearly has a history with your handler.
Sula, don't be a foola.
attacking a watch
I
point.
don't have my sound effects. I was about to hit the laugh.
You're incorrigible, Handler Walter. Dogs must I kill before you learn.
Is that Sula?
Pitiful dog. I feel sorry for you. I really do. You may have survived a little longer. If only you had a different master.
C1249. Sula. He's an independent mercenary who survived first-gen augmentation. Don't think twice, 621. Kill him.
Yo, the music right now is cool. You hearing like this synth stuff?
You may have survived a little longer. If only you had a different master.
It sounds like the Prowler music in Spider-Verse.
He's an independent mercenary who survived first-gen augmentation. Don't think twice, 621. Kill him before he kills you.
We're 619 and 620. Dead? Which ones did I kill, I wonder?
Don't let him bait you.
Dude, this is badass, dude.
What Gen 4's not? I hear you make fine hounds with the right training. Shame you'll have to die here. Walter, stay away from the watch point.
Confirmed. Enemy ace.
Walter, I always loved
Finally,
you.
there's a boss battle, a bullet hell against the autonomous craft.
Oh, he's in the
Cortez.
Samus suit.
It's an autonomous PCA craft. Cortez.
Dude, just a gigantic railgun on your shoulder? Woo! Dude, all of the animations like on the shoulder parts look so freaking cool, dude. What's the left shoulder
Autonomous
doing?
craft named Cortez.
Like the right one kind of lowers to shoot the rail, but I don't know what the left one is. Oh, it's a shield. It's a shield.
Between the missiles, the shotgun, the assault armor,
Dude, this is so cool.
flamethrower, this enemy has an insane moveset. The way I overcame this on my first playthrough was by pivoting to dual assault rifles. so that
Fuck!
I could just mindlessly
Holy shit! Look at all these freaking attacks.
thrower. This
Or all the
enemy
missiles,
has an
man.
insane
Alright, I went back a little too far. I keep forgetting this video is long, so like I think I'm barely rewinding it. It
Between
goes
the
back real
missiles,
far.
The shotgun, the assault armor, and the flamethrower, this enemy has an insane moveset. The way I overcame this on my first playthrough was by pivoting to dual assault rifles
God
so that I could just mindlessly
damn.
hold my fire buttons down and focus on predicting and dodging its attacks instead. And that worked. Just. And for my S rank attempt, I created Samus.
Oh.
A plasma weapon build with
Oh.
dual pulse guns, a laser cannon, and a shield. And it was awful. Or maybe I was awful, I'm not sure. I had some really cool moments, but between dodging and flying and using my shield and charging my cannon and managing the overheat on my pulse guns, I think piloting this build was just way beyond me at the time.
I can't unsee the Pizza Hut indicator. Thank you, Noe Josue. I pointed that out to Blessing Tim and Greg on the Gamescast. And yeah, the notification for where the attacks are coming from looks like the Pizza Hut logo.
Charging my cannon and managing the overheat on my pulse guns. I think piloting this build was just way beyond me at the time, and I got hit a lot.
Natvu, thanks for
So, yeah,
5 months of Prime
even with
Game
the
and appreciate you,
checkpoint system,
Natvu.
The game is tough, and while I'm proud of the S ranks that I did achieve, I had no chance of S ranking any of the longer missions with the limited time that I had. Because think about it, to S-rank a longer mission, you need to conceive of one build that can overcome many different encounters, all without running out of healing or ammunition by the end of the mission, and that's really challenging, and I'm looking forward to attempting that come August 25th. Anyway,
God,
so
August
I've used up
25th.
just about all of the
Less than a
unique
month,
footage that
dude.
I have to show you today. But
Christina, thank you for 40 months of Prime Gaming subscription. And I appreciate the 40 months of resubscription. Thank you for your 40 months. Johnny J resubscribed for 3 months. Says, I'll never get bored of air dodges. And I agree with that comment. Mark M with 14 months of support. Using tier 1. Thank you for all of your support, and if you want to support me some more, you can check out my store where you can see there's new art on display or whatever
I
it
still
is.
have more to reveal.
That's how you know I watch too much body video. I know all the stuff that he sells. Look, Chad, it's right there. There's the Pizza Hut logo. There's the Pizza Hut logo.
I still have more to reveal, so if you want to stick around, I'd like to go over a bunch of game mechanics that I haven't mentioned yet, and at the end I'll also share some more deeper personal thoughts about the game, along with some details that I learned from an interview with the game's lead producer and director. So, do you remember when I fought an enemy AC back in Mission 6? His name was Index Dunham, and his was an optional AC fight where you kind of just overwhelm him with 2 teammates. So this fight with an
Dunham.
enemy AC is actually optional in this mission, but it's still absolutely worth doing at least once because you see this little icon here? That's a combat log marker. It's a resource for something called Log Hunt, which rewards you with new parts for handing in combat logs and rising through the ranks.
Oh, yeah.
It's very cool. You can also actually rematch Index Dunham and a lot of other AC fights too, for that matter, in the arena, in glorious simulated 1v1 combat, which I don't think I'm allowed to show you. But I can show you these menu screens from the garage where it reveals that you are rewarded for these fights with credits, seen here, but more importantly with OST chips as well. OST stands for Operating System Tuning, which is another menu that's also accessible in the garage, and it's here that you can spend your OS chips that you earned from the arena across 4 different categories. First are system unlocks, which give you new baseline abilities. Some of these, like the boost kick and the weapons bay, I'd argue are almost essential. Boost kick lets you press your assault boost button at the end again to deal huge impact to enemies like this.
Boom!
And the weapon bay lets you equip arm weapons to your shoulders. Note that you can't fire these shouldered arm weapons at all times like you can with regular shoulder weapons. Instead, you have to switch to them manually and then fire them with your arm button. The next category are core expansions, which are these special offensive or defensive abilities. So I experimented with a few. I used assault armor, which
Pink, teal,
does a
and
huge
purple, Melissa.
AoE
It's gonna look
like
so
this.
sick.
I used pulse protection, which puts a barrier in place like this, which was really cool.
Whoa!
And I tried
I missed that. I didn't see that the first time around.
protection, which puts a barrier in place like this, which was really cool.
All the
And
missiles
I
hitting
tried
that looked
terminal armor
awesome.
as well, which will keep you alive at 1 AP in a situation where you usually would have died. Finally, there are attack control and damage control categories, which simply increase the percentage of damage you can deal or the amount of damage you can heal, or they reduce a percentage of the damage you can take. So upgrading your operating system is a way to straight up make your AC a bit stronger or a bit more versatile, and this is in contrast to the general customization process where you go into the garage and every part is balanced by being strong in some ways but weaker in others. Next, I want to talk about energy weapons.
Talk to us about
Energy
it, buddy.
weapons do not work like they did in previous games. Back then, they required a piece of your actual energy bar to fire, and now it seems their gimmick is that
Pizza
energy
Hut.
weapons will
Pizza Hut.
overheat if you fire them too quickly, so they don't reload in the conventional sense, which means you have the option to either fire them until they overheat, or to use them sparingly to prevent them from overheating. Additionally, it seems like energy weapons can also be used to cancel out energy defenses of the same type. So pulse energy weapons will do way better against pulse defenses.
Ah,
it seems.
okay.
Finally, let's talk lock-on.
Matching up the
So,
matching up the shield and ammo like in Destiny.
lock-on is actually automatic, meaning as soon as an enemy is close enough and in your sights, your fire control system will target them. And as mentioned before, there's a soft lock state where you have more free movement, and there's also a hard lock state called target assist, where your character and your camera will perfectly follow the enemy. To my knowledge, and after reviewing all of my footage, this hard lock cannot be broken, I'm pretty sure. And your AC will automatically quick turn to perfectly face your hard locked target at all times.
Cool.
So, target assist is very
The old ones didn't have that, right? I don't think the old ones had that.
powerful, and it's game defining, honestly. However, you might have noticed that a lot of the time I played with soft lock and I moved my camera manually with the right thumbstick instead. Now, I was pretty comfortable playing in this manner because that's how previous Armored Core games play, and I've played a lot of them, so it felt more
Chad,
second
I'm gonna
nature
be
to me.
going
And
so
playing in
buck
this
wild.
manner
I'm gonna
does
need
give you
like
some benefits.
7 more back
Motion
paddles,
is a
man.
bit more free, and whichever enemy is closest to the
I'm gonna
center
need
of
like
your
back
screen
paddles here
will be
as well.
targeted. So
Back
you have
paddles
more
for my
control
fingernails
over
and
who you're
the
firing
fats
at,
of my
which
fingers.
is especially useful when you're surrounded by enemies. However, there is a downside to moving your camera manually with the right stick, and some of you might be able to guess what it is. It's that your thumb isn't free anymore to press the face buttons that are very required for dodging and ascending.
Yeah.
And
Back paddles,
you
baby.
can't really claw grip
Back paddles.
because remember, your pointer and middle fingers are on all 4 of the weapon triggers, so you can't really use those. So if you want to play soft-locked and control your camera with your thumb, it essentially means that your thumb will have to dart over and tap the buttons for dodge and flight while you're also controlling the camera, which can be done, but you have
This is why we all know, chat, that offset sticks are better. This is why we know that offset sticks are better. Because I could be gaming. Oh, I need to hit something with my D-pad, but my left thumb is being used. Right thumb. Oh, I turned on my PS5. I didn't mean to turn on the PS5. Shit. PS5 is just on now. It woke up. It was like, "What are you talking shit or what, bro?" Camera slip, but you get it. Camera slip, but you get it. You're gaming. Oh, I need to hit my freaking D-pad. Right thumb. Don't want to stop moving with my left thumb. Right thumb. What? I need to hit my D-pad? Right hand. Like, it just doesn't work, dude. Doesn't work. Exactly, Wash. Exactly, bro.
have to stop controlling the camera for a moment to do so. Therefore, I think most
Great
people
demo,
will
thanks.
naturally just gravitate towards
Just here to
playing
show
with
you all the
target
way, you know?
assist turned on most of the
What are
time.
we watching? We're
so that
watching Vati Vidya talk about Armored Core 6.
can be hard locked to enemies instead,
And his demo.
and not really have to worry about the camera. Yes, this means giving up a bit of control and aim, but it frees your thumb for dodging and flying, and I think those things are generally much more important. And speaking of aiming, let's talk about the FCS part. The FCS part essentially determines how accurate your aim is, and in this game, you see that little reticle trailing the enemy within my lock-on?
Yeah.
That reticle is not always on point with the enemy. At certain ranges, it will waver or it will trail behind the enemy, and that means you'll miss. So each FCS part has 3 main variables. It's close range
God,
assist,
let me just get into the stats, man. Oh my God. I'm about to Franmir Bill the shit out of this, dude.
Basically, these values determine
Later,
how
Nuggies.
good your
Have a good day.
FCS will be when tracking enemies at these ranges. So you have to think very critically about what sort of weapons you're wielding.
I have heard of that big bad beluga.
And you also have to consider your FCS when you're thinking about how close you should be to enemies when
Yeah, people back in the day would play
FCS
Armored
parts
Core like
also
this,
determine the
backwards.
time it takes for your missiles to lock onto enemies, and it also determines how long it takes to acquire a multi-lock on multiple
Psychos.
enemies. Finally, I'd like to give some more personal thoughts on the game. First, the story. It's hard
It is
to get this
never that
point across
serious.
with limited footage, but as missions play out and you're slowly introduced to all the characters and corporations who also have a lot of character, you really start to feel small.
Body said that was just a
you're
meme.
some
I don't
small
think so.
Piece of the puzzle within
I
your
heard of-
handless
I didn't-
plans, who
I heard of
is
that, like,
himself
without Body.
a small piece of a larger corporation's plans, who are all a
You got
small
that
part
dog in
of
you,
this
exactly.
huge war over a resource that is unfolding on Rubicon, and that feels like a very Armored Core vibe to me, and I'm in
Hold on,
love with the
just want to rewind that real
all
quick.
you really start to feel small, like you're some small piece of the puzzle within your handler's plans, who is himself a small piece of a larger corporation's
I
plan.
just love UI that looks like this. Just feed this, fucking put this in a spoon, put this in some rice, and let me eat it with a big tortilla chip. Like, let me just scoop this shit up. It looks
who
so
are
good.
all a small part of this huge war over a resource that is unfolding.
Some little
on
arroz
Rubicon.
con
And
pollo.
that feels like a very Armored Core vibe to me, and I'm in love with the vibe of this game, and the amazing soundtrack also plays a huge part in that as well. In terms of endings to this story, I can confirm that the game will have multiple. And from my interview with director Yamamura-san and lead producer Ogura-san, it sounds like endings will work a lot like they did in the 4th generation of Armored Core, where new missions will be revealed in New Game Plus, and those missions can be used.
Look at that
to
little
take you
launcher, dude.
towards
Little
different
launcher for
endings.
Torrent. I want to see Torrent jumping alongside with me.
I loved the replayability this brought to Generation 4, and the thought of having New Game Plus with unique content and enemies not just being more difficult is a really great thing in any of From Software's games, I think. So I love to see that.
The length of the game is, I believe, like 20 hours if you just sort of like main mission it, and then up to like 40 or 35 or something like that if you do everything else.
Next, let's talk gameplay. So I could talk for an hour on this point, but what I really want to
Creed,
try
what
and
the hell's wrong with
convey
you,
to
bro?
you most is that the movement in this game feels really, really good, and it all comes down to the leg types. For example, when you're piloting a reverse joint leg build, you feel like your legs can just claw into the ground and fling you off to the side,
Dude,
or
this
high
looks
up
so
into the
cool.
air. And when you throw on a pair of tank treads, you really feel like you're driving a
You look like you're fucking taking your 6 kids to Chuck E. Cheese.
heavy vehicle.
And
with
their 3
weight
shitty
and
friends.
momentum. The direction you're
With
facing
the parents
matters
that
a
like
lot
never
while
pick
you're
them up
driving.
on time.
And then if you want a feeling of weightlessness, to contrast that, I guess, you can opt for quad legs and rain down death from above.
Dude, the quad legs
And
look
virtually
awesome.
no recoil.
I didn't think I was
I don't
going to
know
be into the quad leg vibe, but I think the quad legs look cool.
With weight and momentum, the direction you're facing matters a lot while you're driving. And then if you want a feeling of weightlessness, to contrast that, I guess, You can opt for quad legs and rain down death from above and have virtually no recoil. I don't know of many games that let you fundamentally change the way your character controls, and the fact that it goes deeper in the garage is also amazing. You have so much control over so many variables of your movement and abilities because the expanded stat screens are back, and all of this just makes it so much fun playing with different builds, and the game will have a ton of replayability because of this fact. Next, considering the recent success of Elden Ring, a natural question a lot of people are going to have is, will Elden Ring fans enjoy Armored Core 6? And yes, I think they will, because while this is a very different genre of game, it's also the first Armored Core to have a lot of things in common with Souls. For example,
the first Armored Core to feature Melina and Rani. They just pop up in the game for no reason.
Completely decoupled camera. Your mech has fast turning speeds. You can heal. There are checkpoints. Bosses have heavily telegraphed attacks.
You use your controller to play.
Visual stagger system, a timed block system, and a hard lock as well. And before anyone says, yes, I know that other games have these things, but Armored Core traditionally has not had those things. So the fact that From Software developed
patches
Elden
will
Ring
100% be in this
Core,
game,
and the fact that I'm talking to a community of Souls fans means it's fair to draw a comparison to Souls in this case, I think. And also, I know that a lot of people did not expect these things to be quite so present when Armored Core 6 was first announced, but they are here now, and it absolutely makes the game more accessible for Souls fans, and any modern gamer in general also. But what I'm really happy about is that it still feels a lot like an Armored Core game, even with all of those things. And most importantly, it's shaping up to just be a good game with those things, and I think that's all most people care about. This is just yet another familiar generational shift in the gameplay of Armored Core, and I'm here for it, personally. All that said, I do, naturally have some concerns about the game. These aren't like terrible problems or anything, it's more like these are things that I'm not really sure how From Software are going to handle. First and foremost,
yeah, I'd say maybe just
PvP.
wait till reviews and everything, Melissa.
PvP in Armored Core has traditionally been about getting outside of your opponent's sights and outmaneuvering them. But with the way that target assist works in Armored Core 6, I don't really see a way that you can outplay people in this manner anymore. Because unless there's a way to break hardlock, and I don't think there is, you're just going to be stuck in their sights the entire time. So I actually got the chance to ask Yamamura-san, the game's director, about how skill expression in PvP would work with hardlock being a thing, and he replied with quite a few insights.
I don't know, bro.
So, first,
he's like, that's a good question, man. I don't have a clue personally.
He stated that target assist actually forces you to move and fight with a certain angle of attack. So it's possible that soft lock could help you with your evasion. He also mentioned that flying over the top of enemies might help to prevent you from getting hard locked. Now, I don't think this would really apply in 1v1 fights, but in fights with multiple people, being above them could absolutely make them less aware of you. So that's an interesting observation. Additionally, he says that
Shape
in
Raven?
fights you have to
Raven, you're in this game, by the way.
stagger meters and consider your own as well. So the way that you fire weapons to build up stagger and then make use of exposed defenses plays a role in skill expression as well, and you won't often just get away with firing all your weapons at once. And then there's also the need to maintain optimal distance, which plays a part in your accuracy.
Thanks for your 3 years of support, Shape Raven. Appreciate that very, very much.
Both players will be sort of maneuvering to maintain their own personal ideal distance.
Thank you so much.
At all times. And then there's just timing.
Starfield September, Melissa.
Is also very important to dodge enemy fire, and you obviously have to time your own attacks as well, so that they land. Lastly, we've only just learned that Armored Core 6 will feature 6-player multiplayer. And I will say, I think target lock, this hard lock, will be way less impactful in 2v2 or 3v3 combat, as those game modes will just have so much going on, and honing in on one player should matter a little bit less. But then, another reason I'm curious about PvP is I think it's just going to be really difficult for From Software to properly balance the fact that you can fire 4 weapons at once in this game. So, when I asked Yamamura-san about the biggest challenges that they faced when developing Armored Core, he answered that balancing weapons was a key focus and challenge for him and the team. And I can see why, because in a lot of games, naturally there
That's
are
a lot of
overpowered
stuff to
weapons.
balance.
It's inevitable. But remember, AC6 is kind of unique in that you can fire 4 of those weapons at once. So if you're firing 4 overpowered weapons at once, just think about how much that exacerbates any potential power imbalance. And in this online age, with people like me who are going to naturally talk about and recommend some overpowered weapons, especially in PvP, that could be an issue. So I think From Software will absolutely have their work cut out for them in balancing this game after release. And I think to be the best experience possible, this game is going to need more high-quality balance patches than they usually put out, but I'm sure they're aware of this. So in terms of difficulty, just in the general game, encounters definitely seem hard enough,
Those
especially when you sort of get past
those
the
melee
beginning.
attacks are so
Aware of
cool
this.
looking with the
So in
gigantic
terms of difficulty,
flamethrower
just in the
sword.
general game, encounters definitely seem hard enough, especially when you sort of get past the beginning of the game. So don't worry about that. My limited footage naturally kind of shows my best moments, but you should know I struggled a good amount at times, trust me. Checkpoints make difficulty less inconvenient, for sure, but they don't reduce the difficulty of individual encounters, if that makes sense. They actually enable From Software to make them harder individual encounters. What I do think might be a bit overpowered about checkpoints is the ability to switch up your mech's assembly halfway through a mission. As a fan of the older games, I was a fan of not being able to change your mech and just committing to whatever build you bring in.
Believe in the build.
Changing your mech is a little bit immersion breaking, and
I'm not gonna go change to a goddamn bleed build to beat Melania, okay? I'm gonna destroy her with this sword the size of a Fiat. Okay? Quit telling me to switch to a Frost and a bleed build, okay? I'm a gamer!
I think it might also risk being a little bit too forgiving, especially for players that understand how to build already, but it might be too early to say, and I could absolutely change my mind on that. The last thing I want to talk about
this is
debt.
one of the
So,
original
in
Andy
previous
impressions.
games, I also really loved the threat of going into debt by playing badly and losing credits. That was a part of the thrill, really.
Vati, that's not... I don't want to think about going into debt in video games.
But going into debt is not going to be a thing in Armored Core 6, so they've confirmed that. I also want to note that AC6 seems to be extremely generous with the credits that it gives you. Not only that, it is very easy to replay missions, and you can also sell parts for the same price that you buy them at, so you are naturally going to have a lot of credits, and that is by design. You can tell. I asked Yamamura-san about this, and he said that From Software felt that having too much debt might dampen the fun of the assembly aspect, and since the assembly aspect is like the main part of this game, and it's also the most potentially off-putting part of the game to new players, I can see why
You can
they
go into
got
debt
rid
in
of
this
debt.
game, and also like insulin is crazy expensive, so if you're diabetic, you're fucked.
The benefit to having more credits is that you can buy more parts and experiment with things and just have more parts on hand to switch to in these mid-mission checkpoints, which is also a big thing as well. But do you know what else Yamamura-san said in response to this question? He
Fuck you,
admitted
Vati.
that he too was a big fan of the debt that you could accrue in previous games, and even though that was a punishing system, he said that he liked the feeling it gave, that sense of a severe, oppressive mercenary lifestyle. And so the last point I'll leave you on is what he said right after this. He said that if they have some nice ideas in-house, they might try to revisit the concept of debt in some form in the future. So, Fires of Rubicon sequel confirmed? Probably too early to say for sure, but I know that employees of From Software
mechs need to
have
go on.
a really
Mech
soft
Bite's
spot
gotta
in
go
their
on
hearts
strike
for this franchise, and I really, really hope that Fires of Rubicon resonates with people so that they get the green light to make more of these games. Especially if it means that From Software might start reintroducing some of the more hardcore, more traditional elements of Armored Core. I know that these things can be off-putting to newcomers to the franchise, so I'm not surprised that a lot of them are gone, but it would be so cool if they, got you familiar with the game, with Fires of Rubicon, and then reintroduced some of those things. I think that would be fantastic.
Do like in a New
If you're
Game Plus or
curious
something.
what those traditional Armored Core elements are, then please consider watching my video where I play through every single prior Armored Core game. Or come and ask me in real time, because I should be currently live on Twitch right now, attempting to answer everyone's questions about my time with
Follow
Armored Core
Vati on
6.
Twitch, everybody.
Other than that, thank you for listening to me ramble.
I just want to be in that. Like I want to be in that as quickly as possible. What did you all think of the video, gamers? Let me know in the comments down below. I think it looks pretty badass. I think this is a great video from Vati. So go show him some love as well. Hit him with a like, comment, subscribe. Love y'all. We'll see you in another Reacts video.